Welcome everyone. In this video we're covering the Regionate tool. This tool allows you to stream data into Google Earth progressively relative to your level of zoom. So it could be a very convenient way of loading drawings that are otherwise too heavy and may impact negatively the performance of Google Earth. The tool has some limitations, so we are also going to cover those. To access the tool, you can go under the Tools menu and then choose Regionate. The way this tool works is that Google Earth will take a KML file or a CSV file and it's going to break it up into tiny pieces, and then it's going to stream each of those pieces into the application relative to your level of zoom. So under the input file you have to specify the main file that you want to load, and then under the output folder you have to specify the folder where you want all those tiny pieces to go so that Google Earth can reference them from that folder and load them progressively into the application. So when you're using this tool, it is a good idea to prepare in advance a folder where you want to store all of that data. I'm going to first of all load the input file just by clicking on the Browse button. I'll navigate to the folder where I stored the main file, and at the moment I don't see anything because the file format that Google Earth is looking for is that of a text file or a CSV file. In the bottom right corner I'm going to switch this from text files to KML files. Now note that it's not going to be able to detect any KMZ files, it's only going to be able to load KML files. I'm going to select this drawing KML file and click on Open. Then I have to specify the output folder where all of the data that Google Earth breaks from this main file is going to go. I'm going to click on the Browse button. Then I'm going to specify the same folder where the main file is located at. You don't necessarily have to do that, but I just do it so that all of the files will stay in the same place and they will be easier to find later. And now once I've opened the folder, I'm just going to click on Select Folder. And I would like to open the files once the regionation has been done. So I'm going to toggle the box where it says Open Regionated Files when done. And with that, I'm going to click on Regionate. And now we can see that the file was loaded, but not all of the data is being displayed at the same time. So if I want to see more of the drawing, I'll have to start zooming into it. And as I zoom in, data is going to stream in from the files that Google Earth broke the main file into. And if I go to the folder that I specified, we can see our main drawing KML file here, and then all of these other files that Google Earth created by breaking this drawing apart. So it's currently been broken down to about 19 pieces. The Regionate tool does not split the data in a way that you might expect. It does not, for example, take into consideration any folder structure or naming conventions that we may have in our original drawing file. It rather splits the data quite randomly. So just to give you an example here, for this drawing, I'm going to open the original, which we have right here. I just exported out this output folder, and you can see the folder structure here. But if I open the Regionate file that Google Earth loaded, we can see that it doesn't at all follow that folder structure. Everything is kind of separated randomly. So in this last folder, we have just a bunch of contour lines that we have in this valley here. It for some reason picked those up and then placed all of them in this folder. Then in this other folder we have some more contour lines, and then a big chunk of the drawing was placed in this folder for whatever reason. So it does not take into consideration any folder structure that you may have. And this is one of the downsides of using this tool. It will basically create a mess of the original drawing. Now, the other limitation of this tool is that it cannot load images, simply because the KML file format cannot contain images itself. It can link to images that are external to itself, but it cannot contain them as a KMZ file can, for example. Under the rasters importing session, I've covered how you can stream rasters into Google Earth using the import tool in cases where the rasters are otherwise too heavy for Google Earth to handle. So if you're interested, please make sure to check that session out. And with that said, we can wrap it up for this session. Thank you for watching and see you in the next session.